Hello, everyone. My name is Vaishnavi Nashte. I'm the marketing and PR manager here at 31 Media, and welcome to the 31 Media podcast. Today, we are interviewing James Mortlock, who is the lead UAT Test Manager at Vodafone. He has been a key player in Vodafone's transition to an agile testing methodology. James started his career at Vodafone as an apprentice in mobile device testing, whilst earning an FTSE in telecommunications technology. He's held different QA and automation engineering roles before taking on leadership of the UAT department. Welcome to the 31 Media podcast, James. How are you?
Hello, thank you. Yeah, very good, thanks. Very good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, we're just
Great.
prepping for the conference that's coming up now next week. So all good on the side.
Exciting.
So my first question to you is, what trends are you currently seeing in the industry?
Um, I think the biggest one that everyone talks about really, well, probably the second biggest, the first probably being AI and machine learning, but we'll get onto
Yeah.
that afterwards. But I think shift left is becoming huge. People are understanding the impact that leaving testing till the last minute has on delivering software and programs.
Mm-hmm.
Just an emphasis on, I guess, quality. I guess I'll explain that a bit later. Quality across the whole system, but earlier on rather than just testing at the end, I think is a big one. Trying to move more integration testing and things like UAT that used to be right at the end, moving that into sprint now,
Yeah.
seeing huge benefits. Test automation obviously has been quite a big thing for a while, getting even more so, especially with the rebirth of NI and generative AI, for
Mm-hmm.
example. So all those three things, in fact, coming together. So shift left automation and um, artificial intelligence. They're the big ones, and I think something to not be forgotten is, I guess, the increase in security testing.
Mm-hmm.
We see it a lot in the media these days. This company being hacked and these vulnerabilities and whatnot, it
Yeah.
can cost not only massive reputational damage, but huge costs and fines to companies. So I think that's becoming a bit more and more involved in shift left as well now, rather than these big security pen cycles at the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what do you think is the one thing that people don't understand when it comes to software testing?
So this is the thing. I think the emphasis on testing, I think,
Mm-hmm.
is the mistake here. Testing is a very small part of what should be quality or quality assurance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So quality, I always say testing is not the silver bullet. Quality is. Um, Testing is treating symptoms, whereas having high quality is basically the cure. Um, you're effectively focusing on detecting defect in
Mm-hmm.
the unit that you're looking at, rather than focusing on why those defects appeared. So I
Yeah.
think that's the big misunderstanding about testing is everybody thinks it's going to fix the problems. It's just going to help the software that you're producing at that point be
Mm-hmm.
better. It's certainly
Mm-hmm.
not going to fix any problems. So I think that's a big misunderstanding about testing. Um, we need to, like the shift left thing
Yeah.
kind of alludes to, I think we need to shift quality assurance further left, fix all of the process
Mm-hmm.
problems from a quality perspective, and then
Mm-hmm.
we effectively make testing redundant. That's the idea. Increased automation,
Yeah.
better integration, all this sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my thoughts on testing misunderstandings.
Yeah. I think this could be like an entire different podcast itself where we talk more about what are the things that people need to explore more in software testing. And this is definitely one of the speaker topics that we've got aligned at the conference as well. But moving on to the next one, like how would you define crowd testing and why would you be like a proponent for it?
So crowd testing has, so I'm a big fan. It has
Mhm.
quite a few benefits. I'll go on to, I guess, the more um, less monetary style reasons why it's great. I'll start with the ones that are going to probably get it across the board. So, like, you don't have to have gigantic quality assurance teams like you used to back in the day. We used to have sort of
Mhm.
10, 15, 20 people testing in a
Yeah.
department. These days, we know that the peaks and troughs of program delivery and finances and whatnot mean that you can't maintain that huge bank of quality assurance specialists all year. Having a sort of like a center of excellence and then using crowdsourced or crowd testing to flex up and flex down is one of the, I guess, small benefits. I'll go on to the
Mhm.
biggest at the end, I guess. Like the scalability is almost infinite.
Mhm.
So you can have some tests that will use 1 to 5 people,
Yeah.
some kind of tests phases that can use 20 plus. And then the next week you have one person testing, the next week you have 50. It's like the scalability is just incredible. But
Yeah.
the main benefit, in my opinion, is that you get the different point of view. So extrapolating testing away from like the tester, making sure they're not, the developer, making sure they're not marking their own homework, as it were.
Yeah.
That's in theory one of the best things you can get out of testing, removing them from the process and getting them to just objectively test it. That
Mhm.
point of view, you really struggle with, even if you have dedicated UAT teams like we do. They are meant to be kind of extrapolated style view. There's nothing better than getting a customer to test it than
Yeah.
getting a customer to test it. Like, you don't get that point of view unless you put it in front of your customers. But this gives you a really low risk version
Yeah.
of what is effectively like a canary release. Instead of throwing it out there and then fixing forward, you're effectively mimicking a go live, getting all of that feedback before you
Mhm.
go into production, fixing all of the issues, and then going
Yeah.
live with a high quality product.
Yeah, because that's like a significant investment as well. And I recently had like a chat with on a different podcast where we basically discussed the role of customer feedback and how important it is to even save up on all the financial and energy investment that goes into it. But that's an amazing insight. Thank you for that. And you also mentioned about artificial intelligence and um, I mean, we would be missing out if we wouldn't answer this question, but it's obviously like the elephant in the room. It's evolving every sector as we know it. How do you feel about it when it comes to software testing? What's something that we should be aware of?
So I think the question on everybody's lips, I know my team talk about it, is that is AI going to replace me? Um,
Yes.
so I think definitively no, it can't. You always have to have, like I said, this different point of view.
Mhm.
Um, as a first instance, I was speaking with the guys that we use for crowd testing, speaking with them, and we decided that the only way you're going to get replaced is by a quality assurance specialist that can harness AI. That's the only
Mm.
that's the only replacement that's going to be made, because you can use it for. So you have AI embedded into test automation. So there's applications out there that can you have a screenshot and it can detect when there's changes based on the dynamicness of the page and changes that are a bug. So you can effectively be going through a journey and it will disregard the page changing because that's what it's meant to be, but it can also visually pick up on things that are broken. Like that's
Mhm.
that's something that we should be putting into our automation, because automation should be doing all of the stuff that's effectively what I call handle turning. If we can code
Mhm.
it, then we should be doing that, and we should be looking at the customer experience style testing
Yeah.
and other weird and wonderful techniques we can do to squeeze that extra quality out. Um, things like test data generation. No one likes doing that.
Yeah.
AI
So it'll probably replace more
automation.
of the, I think the tasks that are, yeah, like probably the day-to-day tasks that are repetitive, I guess. But I think it'd be difficult to replace jobs because that's what everybody has been so worried about.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at some of the stuff that AI comes out with, it's if it is going to replace us, it's nowhere near yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is still that human side that you need in terms of we use all of the automation tooling so that we can focus on more the emotion and sentiment side of the
Mm,
journey that customers get.
mm-hmm,
So you can have things that come out with very low defects, but um, customers can feel frustrated afterwards because the
yeah.
steps were there was too many or there wasn't enough. For example, something that's heavy on financial commitment
Mm,
might need a few extra steps just to give reassurance. That you
yeah.
can't program into AI or would be exceptionally difficult. We're talking about sentient beings at this point. So yeah, that's what we'd use automation and AI specifically to give us more time
Mm-hmm.
to bring all of those types of issues out, increasing quality rather than just testing.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that insight. And I think you are also attending the National Software Testing Conference next week. So, what are
Indeed.
you looking forward to? Are there any specific speaker sessions that you're more excited about?
There's probably too many to go through, if I'm honest. It all looks great. What I'm really excited about, it's very interesting the split between the two styles
Mm,
of sessions that you've got. You've got more kind of sit and listen style ones, the traditional, but you've also got like workshop style ones. And I'm really
yeah,
excited about that. It's very much more collaborative and in terms of my learning and be able to come back to my
yeah,
team. Um, that'll be hugely impactful. I'm really excited about that. The networking, obviously, great. Some of the greatest industry leaders are going to be there, so it'll be good to rub shoulders with those and swap some ideas. That'll be very useful. But seeing and exploring some of the industry innovations, especially when
yeah,
we're talking about automation and AI, we're right on the edge of some really exciting stuff happening. I think there's probably already some really cool stuff happening anyway. So being able
hmm,
to not only learn about it, but explore with the people there, being face to face
yeah,
and with people will be a great opportunity to sort of like pick through all the detail and hopefully get some cool stuff to bring back.
yeah. Absolutely. I think it's going to be an amazing 2-day conference because we also have like a prize draw happening at the end of it where people get to enter the testing awards as well. We have like the North American and European testing awards that are now open for entry. So I think it's going to be an exciting conference in terms of speaker agendas and different workshops as well. So amazing. I'm definitely looking forward to meeting everybody else and you at the conference. So thank you so much for all of your insights on this podcast.
Thank you very much. Excited to do this and excited for the event.
Thank you.